Welcome again to this section, to this episode. The first video we talked about um, the first part of physics, which is paper two and part one. So this is paper two, part two. Okay, so paper two, part two. Okay. Welcome to Passclix community. My name is Taiwo, and I will be taking you through this part two questions, the way what's expected of you to do, and how can you get your full marks. Okay. So my advice is this: if you're slow, you're someone who doesn't who always wants to take his time to solve questions, without considering the time. Actually, it's important for you to consider time. Time management is very important. I would advise that you answer question part two first before going to the part one. Some people waste a lot of questions, a lot of time on part one. So if you answer part two, what is the benefit? Is 45 marks, while part one is just 15 marks. No, it's just 15 marks, but that 15 marks can make a difference. Okay. But it's always good for you to answer part two questions, because each question is 15 marks, then you are answering just three questions, and that makes it three questions, and that makes it 15, 15 times 3, that's 45 questions. 45 marks. So now you have question. This is the way the structure is. Question one, which is question 8. The first question in part 2, which is question 8, is always structured on um, mechanics. Okay. Okay. So you have mechanics or mechanics and the properties of material, properties of matter. Let me put it that way. So that's the first one. Okay. So the second one is thermal physics. Okay, that's the second one is thermal physics, and why the third one is waves and optics. Okay, sometimes they are not arranged accordingly. So like this one now is any question you see on question 8 will be on mechanics and what are you expecting. It can be motion, it can be momentum, it can be pressure. uh, there are all the questions that you see on that mechanics. Make sure that are you are up to date. You know all the topics equally, so that you'll be able to answer the questions. And this year, I think something like equilibrium or moment of a force can be given to you. Okay, so just try as much as possible and solve plenty of questions. Okay, and we're also there to help you to achieve your A1. Okay, in um in your physics exam. So the second question is about thermal physics, like I said. So in thermal physics, they're about um, 8 to 10 topics. You can structure them to 6. Some teachers can tell you we have just 6 topics there. So, but it all depends. So you have to prepare for temperature, what's it called, temperature and heat. You have to prepare for specific its capacity, specific latent heat, um, conductors, convection, and then radiation. And you have the topics in your textbooks. You can follow them and then solve enough questions on on question 9. So what are you expecting in question 10, being the third part of 5? So you have questions on waves and optics. So waves and optics, all the questions on waves and optics, you should be able to handle them um, very well. You have this one as well. So this one is still on waves, so you can learn about sound wave, you can learn about light waves. Any of these questions can be set even on lengths, which is light waves. So then the next question, which is second to the last question, is on electricity and magnetism. So some people don't like some parts. So if you don't like some parts, we have options. You can select just 3 questions and make sure that you answer the questions, correctly. So this one, electricity and magnetism, you have them in the textbook. You have some tech questions that you can also solve in there. So last part of it is question 12, which is the quantum physics, the atomic physics, or the particle physics. So you expect questions also from semiconductors. So they can give these questions on semiconductors. It all depends. So, but the semiconductor questions should mostly be expected in the short questions in part 1 of paper 2. So that's everything I need to know about paper 2, part 2. Okay, so you can drop a message on whatever you feel that is going to be a problem for you've been experiencing as you've encountered serious problem in particular topics. Just send message to this course our Passclix community group, and then we are going to take it up from there. Okay, I wish you all the best. Thank you. See you in the next next video.